Hello and welcome back to Avowed. So, this is it. We're gonna go to the freaking garden today. I was gonna say go to the camp because I just went to the camp, but no, we're gonna go to the garden for reals, actually for reals. But before we go, I do wanna check out what I can upgrade in here. Because we probably got quite a few materials to work with since last time. Yeah. Uh, and like, I don't know. Are we in the actual end game? I don't know. I'm really not sure at this point. Like, it does feel like we could be. I mean, it always felt like it made sense. Um, yeah, I'll upgrade that to full. It always seemed like it made sense for, you know, uh, it to be the final thing in the game to do. Not enough for that. Nope. Got an achievement for upgrading my armor fully. Apparently that's important. Right, and I also want to do this because but don't double click. Cause yeah, I wanna upgrade my gun. I guess I don't know how useful it's gonna be. I don't even know if we're gonna fight anything in the garden. I don't plan to fight Sapadal, but who knows what'll happen. But yeah. Power attacks deal high force accumulation to nearby enemies. Killing an enemy gives you 5% damage reduction for 10 seconds. I feel like I want this more. Damage reduction is kind of like, sure. Alright, I can actually, yeah, I was gonna break down some items, that's true. Break down my shield. Don't know if I have anything that's gonna give me anything I want. Right, I've still decided not to use this. I'm gonna stash it in the camp. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I will have the opportunity to use it, but yeah. This is my old gun I used, right? Guess I'll just... Feels kind of bad to do that, but whatever. Don't think there's any in it that gave me enough. What I needed was a small, yeah, blood rifle. I don't think any. I can upgrade my stick. Good old stick upgrade. But nothing else I could do. That's fine. All right.
Marius, I've been wondering about something.
What's that?
How do we keep finding Zarubs on every continent? They don't strike me as the seafaring type.
Oh, that's simple. Zarb's probably stowaway on merchant ships or ride on the back of dragons, or something like that.
What if Aora was once a single landmass, and the Zarub tribes drifted apart over the years? Could that be possible?
Well, that's a theory. You might need to look into it some more before telling it to anyone else, of course.
I'm pretty sure you're overthinking it. It's like rats. You see them everywhere too, but they don't have their own navy either.
Maybe you're right. But I like my theory.
I mean, that theory is relatively realistic to our world. Yeah, we're still pinning Yard, I think, and Marius. That's what I decided. For some reason, that's the ones I decide I want to go with. That's it. Is it fair to teleport there? I guess it is, probably. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's... Yes and no. I mean, there are obviously some animals and stuff that can travel through ships and stuff. I mean, we do have invasive species because of humans doing stuff. But, I mean, yeah, don't know if that's... I mean, yeah, I don't know. The other theory is probably makes more sense. I mean, that's how people got to, the Americas and probably also Europe. I mean, was there I don't think. I forgot. Isn't Africa? Africa is an island, right? It's not connected. I forgot. It's not. Isn't it connected to Europe? Kinda, or like. I forgot. Maybe I forgot. But it's like close-ish. I don't know. I should not be talking about things I don't know. But like, yeah, that was like a. Obviously, the world was different hundreds and thousands of years ago. Anywho, here we go. Once you go in, you can't go back. At least for now. I mean, like, it does sound like it's the point of return, you know. You can't go back. But does that just mean you can't go back for now? Like, is this gonna be go here, credits will roll eventually? You know? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't.
Well, this is it, I guess. Feels very different from the last time I left Galawain's tusks. I will say, it's nice to look out and see Solace still standing. Thanks for that.
Of course, I had no right to make a decision for everyone. We're becoming quite the local heroes. It had to be done.
Right. It's better than an Adiran envoy do it.
Solace is still standing. And so are you. We're in this together.
Just so you know, Kai, it's starting to sound like you like me.
If you happen to need a reminder, do let us know. Brooding in silence can be quite the mood killer.
Not to spoil the moment with good news, but I doubt the rest of the island has been quiet while we've been looking for the garden. Things have only gotten more tense since Fjord, and the Steel Garrote probably hasn't been doing us any favors on that front.
Especially when they're led by a woman who doesn't seem interested in staying dead. Not to mention, after we take care of the envoy's little god problem, we'll still have an empire bearing down on us.
Yeah. I got an achievement there, by the way. That said that I had entered every dungeon. Apparently we're in a dungeon, according to the game. So that's interesting. But it also kinda indicates that, yeah, no, we are probably in the end game, if that's the last actual dungeon. Yeah, I don't know. I still think there's something else, something more. I mean, could be post-game, just some post-game stuff, but could be we're not quite done. I don't know. I don't know. Truly, I don't. We'll see what happens. Like, if this video somehow says finale, well, you'll know. But I don't know. Will it? Anyway, the island can sort itself out. I'm hoping to be far away by then. Maybe going to Dreamscape would cure the island's insanity. The living lands could be at war by the time we leave the garden. Don't mind me, I didn't sign up for this. I mean, I feel like we should probably try to help, try to figure something out, but I mean, can we? Yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to say that. I should really say the scout option, but I don't think I want to say this time.
Sweet of you to think the fighting will wait that long.
Can't say I'm too excited about just walking into the garden. I grew up learning I needed to protect that place. But it never felt like more than a children's tale to me.
I hear you. This island is weird enough when all we have to worry about are vengeful plans and soul-altering corruption.
Am I the only one who's looking forward to the garden? We're pioneers, stepping into the great unknown. A land of mystery.
We have to remember to love them in spite of their lack of proper enthusiasm, dearie.
Do you have a right to be worried about sudden death? Good point. We'll be the first to enter the garden in ages. You aren't frightened?
Death is always certain. It's only a question of timing. I have a theory about the garden. Or a warning, depending on how you want to look at it. Sapadal has been imprisoned a long time. The garden will be a reflection of their dreams, their nightmares, their madness.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw visions or hallucinations, and not even the fun kind.
Seems that the change will become raping lunatics. At least you get to meet Sapadal in person. You make this up. Pinch the bridge of your nose. That's great. Thank you, Yasli. Well, okay. Hmm.
Sanity won't get us through the garden. Madness opens the mind to discovery. So madness is what we need right now. Before we go any further, I have to ask you something. You told the Inquisitor that you intend to free Sapadal. Set them loose upon the world. Is that still the plan?
Sapadal deserves the freedom. Honestly, I'm struggling with that question. That's the plans, until it changes my mind. I mean, yeah, honestly, that's not incorrect. That is the plan, but something could happen. Unless anyone has a better idea. But also, I mean, a bit. I'll say this to see what you have to say about it, you know.
You're not the only one. Sapadal is responsible for the spiritual health of the living lands, and the island has suffered for it. No matter what the Inquisitor said, I don't believe there's a right or wrong choice to make here. Just the one you believe in.
Anyone with wisdom? There has to be a right or wrong. Otherwise, what are we doing? It doesn't make the choice any easier.
Just one. Remember, we're stepping into a realm that is both physical and spiritual in nature. If you can call it nature. There's no telling how long we'll be gone. For all we know, time could run backwards in the garden.
Does anyone feel like turning back? This may take a while.
Not a chance. We're a crew now, so you're stuck with me until the end. Marius?
I told you I'd be with you till the end. I don't go back on my promises. What about you, Giada?
You're not going into the garden without me. I have to see this with my own eyes. Yatsli, if you feel like running back to Quilici, now would be the time. No one would think less of you.
And tell Quilici that I missed out on the most exciting part.
Alright then, we in this together. Thank you everyone. I don't say that enough. A tear from the corner of your eye. It's maybe a little much. Yeah, thank you. You've always been here, you know, despite them not always agreeing with us, you know. They definitely make their opinions pretty clear, and yeah, a lot of time, not everyone is happy about it. What I do, what I say. But it is nice that, yeah, not every companion you have is just like, you know, just accepting everything you do. I mean, well, I mean, they kinda are, but also that's just how it has to be because of gameplay. I mean, if you know, it would be weird if someone could leave because of the choice you made. I mean, it's not impossible they could do that, but I don't. Again, this is the kind of RPG that doesn't really. It's not trying to be mean. It's not trying to be like, you know. Some RPGs and some games definitely are way harsher. That's the tone of the game. That's the, you know, do you want to make it, you know, so it feels like your choices are actually very important, they actually matter, you know, and you gotta accept the way people are and what they do, and sometimes they'll just leave or, you know, not want to do something or, you know, whatever it may be, but this is not the kind of game that does that. Because I think the game is trying to be pretty, what's the word, like, you know, appeals to the most people, you know. It's trying to be, you know, it's not trying to be the kind of game that's like only for the hardcore of hardcore RPG fans and stuff, you know. That's always what I liked about Bethesda games, they were a lot more, accessible, I suppose, than some RPGs. There are definitely some games, that I look at in this sort of genre, of not exactly Western RPG. That's like not always the case, but a lot of games like this, there's a specific kind of game that I'm thinking of, and some of those games do feel like it's like this is so much. This is so complicated. So like everything you do matters, and every little micro detail, every movement, and every choice you make in your combat and your whatever it may be matters. And that's not what this game is. And I appreciate that because it's not what I'm looking for. Maybe I should try to expand my you know my taste with that, because I know a lot of them are good, a lot of them are well loved, and there's a lot of you know lot of games that I will miss out on because of that. It just when I look at some games, that are so complicated and long and complex and everything like that, it's like, how will I ever actually get into them? I don't know. That's why these kind of games appeal a lot more to me. Why I've always enjoyed these more, because they really feel approachable. Um, in a way that other games, like other RPGs, especially RPGs, don't feel. I don't know. There's still depth in some ways in this game, Like, it's not the hardest game, sure, but there's many ways you can play, obviously. Um, but yeah. I mean, again, more difficult game modes, and stuff, I think there was a difficulty choice in this game, wasn't there? I don't know. I think there's... At least I remember hearing that there was like a new game plus mode or something that was gonna come or has come, or I don't know, in an update at some point, like something like that. So like, yeah, there might be something along those lines either coming or already in the game. I don't know. I only vaguely remember what I saw, somewhere online. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is just, yeah. I appreciate the game for what it is. Anywho, gonna say this.
And you don't have to. We pull together, and that's plenty.
I plan on wandering the garden whether I'm traveling with you or not. I have to find out what the big deal is.
Agreed. I'm not waiting in camp while the rest of you have all the fun. Hope to see you out there, Marius.
Well, let's go then. We can't keep your guard waiting.
Oh. Okay, only the other has something.
Blizzard to enter the domain. Genius. When we stayed any longer, I think her illusions could have convinced us we had frostbite.
She built a frozen graveyard. She would have let her skeletons tear us apart. Doesn't any of that bother you?
Kai, you must understand. Archmagi don't see the world as you and I do.
I don't trust anyone who treats others' lives so callously. Just be careful, Yardsley.
Okay, well, yeah, has something else.
So, this is it. The spiritual epicenter of the living lands. Where it all began. And where it all ends. For so long I have looked out on a horizon full of possibilities. Now that it's here, I'm too scared to breathe. Ugh, why am I so anxious?
You're feeling lost after almost there, and this place gives you hope. Because we're about to do something incredible. Maybe you can see this as a turning point in your career. You tell me. I mean, yeah, maybe.
You may be right. When I gave up, I stopped worrying so much. And now that we're here, it's obvious I don't know what I want anymore. Do you remember when Manto Pastor sent you after the heart of an Adragan?
Uh, oh, is that the thing I accidentally found? And I didn't actually really get the dialogue with that guy. I think that's that thing that happened that one time. Yeah. Of course, to power his invention. You're welcome for that, by the way. Please don't tell me we need to collect another heart.
That was nothing compared to this. We are standing in the beating heart of the living lands. Just imagine what we can do with it.
We don't have much time to decide. I saw you were giving up your ambition. I started thinking got your parents killed. Why must we do anything? Cut it out, I say. Let it bleed.
I almost turned my back on animancy. And if I'm being honest, it was a relief. But now that we're here, who am I to reject my upbringing, my potential? My parents were going to build a better world for animancers. That dream was their legacy to me. You and I have come farther than they did. To an impossible place where anything can happen. Anything.
Let's decide what to do with your life. The past is no say in the matter. Family legacy is a heavy burden, but you are more than worthy of it. When we need, I'm here for you.
I'll try to remember that. I don't know what's going to happen, but you've had my back since the beginning. I won't forget it.
Do you have any stories about the garden? What is about you? Instead of now, get some rest.
Well, that depends. I know a few spooky stories about the living lands. They may or may not have anything to do with the garden.
I want a spooky story. No thanks, I'm easily frightened.
Okay. But if something goes bump in the night, I'm waking you up.
Let me think of a good one. There are so many, I can't decide. Which do you want to hear first? I know one about a ranger's dream, one about a haunted well, and one about a golden city.
Guess we can hear all of them. So, let's hear about the Princess Tree.
One sunny day, a ranger took a nap in the woods of Emerald Stair. He awoke to a forest of dead trees, the night sky full of unfamiliar stars. After getting his bearings, he walked in the direction of Fior Messiverno, but the settlement was gone. In its place was the most beautiful garden, hills bursting with flowers, the grass as soft as Balian silk. Enchanted by this vision, he bent to pick a rose, but its thorn cut like a knife, severing 3 fingers. Then, a voice filled his head, shouting, "Go now, before the land takes you, body and soul." He awoke in his own bed, a wilted rose clutched in his 2-fingered hand.
Good one, Yara. Something rambling about the main sportsman. Can I hear another story? That's enough for now. Get some rest.
It's nonsense, of course, but that's why I like it. Of course.
The haunted well.
Once upon a time, a young girl left town to fetch water from the local well. After pulling up the rope, she discovered the head of a Delimgan, one of the tree folk, staring at her from the bucket. "Return me to my grove," it said, "and I will grant you 3 wishes." So she carried the head into a peaceful clearing and sat it down on a tree stump. First, she wished for long life. The head granted her wish. Second, she wished to be impervious to a sword blade. Granted. And finally, she wished to know what happens after we die. No one ever saw her again. All they found was an Adra pillar in the middle of a clearing, next to an old stump.
Okay, but what it is for? Spooky, I like that one. Are there any real stories or just fables for children?
I heard it as a child. Took me years before I would fetch water again. Of course. Which one did you have in mind?
Okay, you can hear the same one. Golden City.
Many years ago, when Fior Mesiverno was barely a dot on the map, an animancer got lost in the wilderness. He came upon a pair of ancient trees, their trunks and branches intertwined. A strange light shone in the space between the trees, and beyond that light, a city of gold. So the animancer returned with an axe to chop the trees apart and fit his body through the narrow gap. But with every blow of his axe, the towers of the golden city fell. The walls crumbled, the lights flickered out. By the time he made it through, there was nothing left. Only the bones of a once mighty civilization. As for the two trees, they were dead, hacked to splinters, leaving him no path back the way he came.
That's the end. I want to know what happened next. That's true. How does anyone know the story? You know, these stories have a consistent theme. That is true.
Very perceptive. What do you think it is? I have my own opinion, but I'm curious about yours.
Models do not feast for immortal power. Beware of nature, for it punishes the careless. Don't pursue what you don't understand. I don't know, I just thought it sounded scholarly. uh, um, hmm. I mean, all these sound vaguely true.
That is true of many places, not just the living lands. These stories might not shine any light on the garden, but they could inform the way we think about it. First, the garden is beyond all mortal understanding. If you think you're safe here, you're not. And second, when you walk into the unknown, make sure to bring a friend.
Good thing having each other. So I didn't know, but go into it prepared. Is that a contradiction? Words of wisdom.
Life is full of such contradictions. I say it's better to acknowledge them rather than pretend they don't exist. Hey, you're a good listener. Not everyone has the patience to hold their questions to the end. Alas, that is all I can tell you about the garden. For now, at least.
Okay.
Who could rest at a time like this? Does anyone want to share a scary story?
No.
God's not.
Why not? We've got everything we need. Crackling campfire.
Oh, it's getting
Oh,
stronger
whoops.
now.
Got that.
We have to get the rest of the pieces, just to see what happens.
Let me think. Why not? We've got everything we need.
Oh, okay.
Crackling
You
campfire,
continue. That's nice.
foreboding ambiance.
I actually need to get some rest tonight. I'd rather not spend the whole night screaming in my sleep.
Well, I liked Gian's story.
Thank you, Yansli. I suppose I owe the rest of you an apology. I didn't mean to frighten anyone.
Your stories are very good. They're just feeling a little too close to reality right now.
I'll try and think of something more pleasant then. Like a mouse and a rabbit going on pathetic little adventures.
Okay. Guess we are ready. We really don't know what to expect. And I certainly don't know what to expect, you know, as a player. Both in terms of scope of this area and in terms of, you know, what the hell strange is gonna happen. I'm like, I don't know why I didn't really think that this could be a very, you know, cerebral area, you know, if that makes sense to say. Very, yeah. How do we level up? I don't know what to pick. I don't care. Just pick whatever. That sounds okay, I guess. I don't know. That sounds okay, I guess. I mean, again, companion abilities always feel like, yeah, they exist. They do this stuff that they do. I don't know. I don't feel like thinking about this too much. I just want that upgraded. More resolve, I guess. My might is actually kind of low. Let's get it to 8, why not? Or 7, technically. Anyway, you know what I mean. That's all we have in here. Find them. Here, wait. Find Sapadal. Towards the dangers. Find us all. It's very simple. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Alright. So, this is its own map. This is its own map. Yeah. Right, that here is the garden. So interesting that again, we don't use the rest of the map, I mean. Yeah. This is apparently its own whole map.
Looks like a dead end.
Considered a dungeon though, interestingly as well.
Oh, I stand corrected.
Guess we gotta do some jumps. Whoa. Is there something purring? Oh, there are creatures in here. These guys. Alright. Well, that's that tree-like thing we've seen in the distance. Yeah. Make folk Horizon 1. Horizon? Horizon? I don't know that word. Life is a prayer. God function defines the good prayer and we pray it with our hearty holy genocide. What does that even mean? Now says God function. God function. What is that? What is that? Now says God function. Destroy the insisted ones. Puncture the cyst of their secessionist ardor. Smother the children for they are without soul. Slaughter the livestock for they are without soul. Turn them out from their dwellings and make a census of them to pray to God function so that God will know the extirpation of the insisted ones is complete. Of them Abaddon says, nothing can be made of that which is hoarded, so punish the hoarder. Of them Bavas says, they are not upon the wheel, so they do not live nor die. They are as inert as stone. Of them Eophas says, there is no hope for them, as they are enthralled by the hopeless, so deliver them unto them. So deliver hope unto them. Of them Galavan says, hunt them down even to the last child, as the predator hunts even unto the prey nest. Of them Helios says, among them neither chick nor child is born with a soul, so there is no birth among them. Go make a bloody birth of them. Of the Magman says, make war on them. Of them Andra says, strike away all memory, as the tide strikes the shape from the sand. Of them Mimkan howls. of them skin says, make an effigy of them. Disfigure them until the effacement is complete. Of the male says, all the strangeness of the alien among them shall be mine. There's no stranger thing in the world, and I shall have it for my own. Of the Modega says, make an oath of their utter annihilation. In all caps. This is God function, which is the topmost caramel of our mind. Huh. So... yeah. I think that is talking about Sapadal. Like, that is like all the gods are essentially treating Sapadal as this creature of complete like badness. Like, you have this intense hate, intense like want to destroy this thing they don't understand. Everyone, yeah, it's I don't know how to relate into it, but that's quite a thing to read. What I just read, but yeah, no. Got a floating island. That's cool. That's the straight up floating island, man. Yeah.
Guards, this is the place.
That's it. The heart of the garden. Sapadal's cage.
Head Fontaine. Dear Lingraf, I made it to the garden. Somehow. The thing I remember is getting lost, stumbling through the woods, past the volcano, and now here I am. Then again, maybe it was all a dream. Maybe it's a dream too. What else is new? The plants are a nice touch, but a bit too humanoid. They fit in right in the halls obscured, and little greenery to brighten up the enclosures. Anyway, I believe this marks the end of my sightseeing tour of the Living Lands. But a moment too soon, and Mr. Cum was at home. Now, how do I leave? Oh well, I'll figure something out. I always do. Wink. You wrote wink. Your friend Tain Dasmates, off of Tain's Category. Oh right, Tain, right. Tain's Category. We keep reading about Tain, yeah. I did not recognize the name somehow, but yeah. Yeah, quite a strange one. P.S. I'm leaving this here for you, or future version of you, to find someday. Take care. See you at the next meeting of the circle. I'll see you a seat next time. Next to me at the big table.
Right, what's a tank?
Whoa.
I feel
So we will still have combat here. But out of the woods. Like we might be in the woods. Garden woods. Okay.
Take a moment, people.
It's a bear. Rainfall bear, in fact.
Got eyes on something?
Sorry, bear. Gonna have to get stabbed. What? Because there's solids there. Can't ever fight without solids.
You're on your right.
Couldn't have done it better.
Okay then. mean, how big? I don't know. I mean, this doesn't look like there's a lot of space for that to be much exploration here. Yeah, I don't think this is like a, you know, a full map really. It's more like a city map in a way. Like it's, yeah, more dense than what normal maps are, but not as large. That's what it seems like. Make folk Horizon 2. Yeah, I don't know what Horizon mean. Horizon? I think it's Horizon probably, but I'm not sure what that means. What an Horizon is. Anyway, life is a prayer. Of the insisted ones we made a holy slaughter. The young we slaughtered with our hands. Of the oldest we made fires. We rendered them down into fuel to clear the insisted growth. From some we removed the hands, from others the feet, from others the features, all of which we gathered in heaps which drew the insisted wildlife to feed. Into these heaps we set poison. Of the severed heads we made pyramids, 10 heads to a side, and the count of heads in each pyramid was 385. Okay. Of these pyramids there were counted 7,707. Okay. We spared those who could run with vigor, so that they would lead us to other dwellings of the insisted. Made it known that mercy could be purchased by tribute, so that the insisted would gather together their livestock, their wine and wealth, to present to us. The first 10 of these tributes we accepted, and gave mercy. Then after the 11th tribute, we began to kill all those assembled. In this way we made them gather themselves to be taken census and killed. In this way we approached God through prayer. These are quite I'm not sure how to fully describe my thoughts on that. It's like yikes. That's all I can say. It's a very yikes thing to read, what I'm reading. It's like, wow. That's a lot. That's intense. That's like, I would not in any way say that's moral, or in any way say there's any justification for doing all that. It's like complete devotion to the gods and to,
Don't see a better way.
yeah.
You first. I'll be right behind you.
There's a pillar there.
Freak you.
Here we go. There's like something in here. Oh. Well, I can't use this underwater. Can't throw a thing underwater. Can I? I'll try again there. Guess I'm not in this direction. Well, you can camp here, I suppose. I don't feel like I need to. Though people have things to say. I guess I should go to camp because people have things to say. Kai.
When you find Sapadal, I hope you tell him how much I love what they've done with this place.
I didn't realize you had such an eclectic taste. Gives me the creeps. Something beautiful amidst this chaos.
I'm a man of hidden depths. What's not to love about floating islands and a spectral tree? Besides, as divine prisons go, I can imagine much worse.
Captivity is a risky proposition. Keep a beast. It makes its victims docile or desperate. That's true. Like you have very insightful thought. Oh, that's true. It's kind of funny.
And Sapadal definitely isn't docile. Not from what we saw on Mount Forja, or outside the ruins of Nakukubel.
No, not exactly. Sapadal and I can talk about compassion and forgiveness. I believe he can change for the better. Who would be? They've been imprisoned here for centuries at least. They were volatile before their imprisonment. Since then, they have released the dream search. Sapadal is complicated. Yeah. Hmm.
I don't think anyone would handle that well. And what does that leave us with? A god who's been locked away and driven half-mad in isolation. Maybe it doesn't seem fair to punish Sapadal further. But it's worse to gamble every life in the living lands on the hope that Sapadal's done some real self-improvement.
I mean, I understand. I understand why, and that's also why I say it's complicated, and my thoughts are still, you know, like, I completely understand why someone would definitely not trust Sapadal in any way. I do understand that, but like what I just read, like again, everything is just pointing to like Sapadal was like treated and pretty much abused, or pretty much like hunted down and like treated as nothing, as like some kind of scourge. Weirdly, dream scourge. I mean, yeah, like they treated like complete trash, and like for reasons I feel like I am not, like either we don't haven't really figured out, or like based on some weirdly like god, like the gods are like, you know, the gods are complicated and they have their own way of doing things, but like is this really the way the gods should be doing things? And it kind of sounds like the gods are pretty murdery, and I'm not so sure I love that. Like, oh, we should just like you know, there's various ways you can view gods and a god, you know, either as a benevolent and peaceful and, you know, forgiving, but you can also view them in you know, as as something to be feared, as something to be respected, and like, you know, all powerful, almighty. Don't mess with this god. Do exactly what they say. Be devout in every way, despite what they do. You know, I mean, even real world religions, there are like certain parts of those. I don't want to get into too much. You know, I don't want to judge religion. You know, that's your own thing. But if you really think about how many bad things are in certain texts about what God does and has done and will do, if you don't just blindly trust God to be, you know, this benevolent being. Yeah, no, I think that's kind of what you're trying to implicate, to show here with the gods, you know. Um, that, yeah, no. Trusting. Sorry, I thought I heard a knock. I think it was just the neighbor doing something. Yeah, I don't know. It's complicated. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway. Based on our time together, I believe Sapadal can change. Knowing you, I'm surprised you're not in favor of giving Sapadal a second chance. Fair's got nothing to do with it. Sapadal deserves a chance. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I have gotten to understand Kai specifically less and less. I feel like I never quite know what his thoughts are gonna be anymore. I don't know, but I I mean, yeah, I guess I would think this about Kai, but also I don't know anymore about Kai. He has a lot of differing thoughts than what I've actually been doing myself and what my opinions and choices in the game have been. He's been quite against a lot of my choices in the game, which is interesting. I don't know. Let's see what he says.
You know, if Sapadal were only a smuggler, assassin, or bandit, I'd be right there with you. But knowing they could end us all with a temper tantrum puts things in perspective. I guess we've all got our limits. And I don't envy you having to deal with the loose cannon of a god. But I envy even less the mess you're going to have if, I mean, when, we escape this place.
What do you mean? Demons Sapadal won't diffuse the political tensions in living lands. It is disappearing to a remote cabin for a year, and no one is stopping me. What do you mean?
While we're tracking down your god, things are heating up between your Adiran comrades and the locals.
Enough. I don't want time to reflect on every conflict in living lands. I was sent to deal with the dream skirts, not politics. Yeah, that. What are you talking about? This was all the stealing about. I mean, I don't know if that's all the stealing about. I mean, again, it has always felt like the Demon Empire, you know, where very much trying to be, you know, all controlling, expanding, you know, all that stuff, and the Silk Road is, you know, the powerhouse to do so. But it still very much feels like, yeah, I mean, it's not just the Silk Road. I mean, yeah, it's true. This is what we're here for. We certainly have got involved in a lot of other stuff, you know. Yeah, that. I think that's that's very added. Yeah, that.
You may have averted the attack on Fjord, but this is one situation where it's the thought that counts. And yeah, I know that's on the Steel Garrote, but it's not lost on anyone that your people despise animancy. Not when Heelgard banned the practice in Paradise.
I see a point. And that was indefensible. Come on, Helgard has nothing to do with the Silkworth's plans at Fjord.
That's mighty principled of you, but your moral stance isn't going to cool any tensions. Not if Heelgard's still bringing soldiers into Paradise by the shipload. And that's not all. Ringram may have unleashed some powerful magic against the Dream Scourge, but she left a lot of corpses in her wake. It doesn't look good for your people. Not when Ludwig was also in the region, and your people had a garrison at Eagle's Reach.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all. Come on, that's a coincidence. Enough. I don't have time to reflect on becoming living lands.
And then there's Solace. You might have saved the keep, but no one's going to talk about the disaster that didn't happen. They're going to talk about why Mount Forja erupted after all this time.
That is technically indirectly the Silkworth's fault. It's a volcano, and I can't possibly blame for a volcano. I hate politics.
I don't think anyone else is going to understand the indirectly. Fairly or not, a lot of blame's going to be laid at Adir's door. And if I had to guess, I don't think Heelgard's been helping matters while you've been out here.
So, since the high and everyone out here is well armed, what about it? Hey, leave out of this.
If and when we get out of here, we're walking into a powder keg. And you'll have to choose a side. That's the part I don't envy.
It is my home. Can't expect me to turn my back on my people. I was sent here to stop a plague, not prosecute a war. The people of the living lands deserve freedom. I won't help anyone subjugate them. Yeah.
I admire your principles, but don't underestimate what they could demand of you. Look, I've been there. I fought for Rauatai's interest in the Deadfire for longer than I'd like to admit. And lost my stomach for it eventually. That's how I wound up here. But I will tell you now, I never could have fought my own brothers and sisters. I hope that's not what it comes down to. But I'll understand if that's a line you can't cross. I don't mean to burden you. It's late, and you've still got a god to face. Just know that whatever you choose, I'll fight alongside you. I'm with you to the end of this.
Thanks, Kai. No matter what. Good night.
No matter what. Hey, it's not like you could possibly make the mess we're in worse, right?
Yeah. Thanks, Kai.
Anytime. What's on your...
Maybe do have more to say here.
I barely plan further than the next meal, and you're asking me?
Yes. Maybe that's the kind of advice I need. Forget it.
I don't know, Envoy. I just try to take each day and each battle as it comes. And you can see where that's gotten me. But I think it's possible to be too prepared.
You have to be ready to read the environment and adapt to it. You say it's from my god. Only people who never prepare say that. I mean, gonna say this because it's a scout option. I kind of want to say this, I guess, but I don't know. Whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what all of us think by now. Ultimately, you're the one who has to decide what to do with Sapadal and where your loyalties lie. My advice? Get a good night's rest. And when the moment comes, follow your instincts.
That helps. Thanks. I mean, it sounds so easy. I mean, that is kind of what I'm doing. I'm hoping my instincts are correct and that we're doing the right thing by freeing Sapadal here, you know?
Don't forget that every soul in the living lands hangs in the balance. But look at it this way. Whatever you choose, you'll end the Dream Scourge, and you'll give the living lands a future. And I'd wager that's better than where we are now.
I mean, do we know we're gonna end the Dream Scourge again? We could, we could really fuck everything up, you know?
Try to get some rest.
I wonder if anyone else has anything more to
Envoy.
say.
Pinch me. I must be dreaming. I've long imagined what the garden could look like, but... even all the depictions I've seen in all the ruins, they didn't do it justice. And that's not even counting all the little surprises we've gotten. And you're on the way to meet your god. Years of being an unclaimed godlike. And now, it feels like a typhoon of information has hit us. I've yet to catch my breath. There are even floating sky islands. How are you staying so calm?
If I think about it too hard, my brain will explode. You think I'm calm? I'm just trying to get through this, Yasli. I mean, yeah.
You could be a bit more excited. I just want to focus on memorizing everything I can. The architecture is obviously in pristine condition, let alone... Just make sure to remember everything we see.
I'm not clicking
I want to
anything.
pick your brain later.
Okay, it felt like I was skipping something before, but why is it... Felt like I skipped... I don't know what's going on with that. That felt a bit weird. Okay, I don't know. Hopefully it's not gonna continue. I could try to draw your map. Not sure how helpful it'll be. Maybe we'll calm down about the garden stuff now. Glad to see the garden is living up to your expectations. I'm excited, but we are on a tight schedule.
True. With everything shifting, it may not be accurate long. Still, what an artifact. A map of the garden by the last Tibaru Sanakis. This place is... it's more than I could have ever dreamed. I know we have to find your god and figure out what to do with them, but... Oh, I almost feel like I could stay here forever.
You could stay if you want. What about Quilici? We had your perfume supplies though. I'd say that.
Oh, fair point. I suppose I'd have to make supply runs from time to time. Still, I just... Oh, it's breathtaking here. And think how much I could learn here. Pockets of time in the lives of the Akita are here, and... Oh, but we've not even gotten to the end yet. We haven't seen everything. Let's get moving.
Where are you? It's why you had more to say about
There's
other
my
stuff,
favorite
like
idea.
Kai had something to say? Like, yeah, what can you tell me about Godless? Is this something?
Careful what you wish for, darling. So, the Godless, or the Akita, as they called themselves, were the original
Is this,
folk who
wait,
lived
is this,
in the living realms. They arrived on the shores of a new...
Oh no, this is this again. Yeah, no. Okay. Right. This blah 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 blah. This,
Oh, but
we've been through that
you
one
might
before.
know this one.
But there was something because
I
Kai
might.
had something.
How do you get dust stains out of your clothes?
Just wear clothes that won't be ruined by dust stains.
Wonderful advice for the future, dearie. However, I still have a dust stain on my pants.
Right. Grind up some bone slate, squeeze a few hemp flowers into it, and rub it into the stain like you're trying to start a fire.
I'm glad we arrived at a real answer, finally. Thank you, darling. You're a delight as always.
Anyway,
Envoy, what do you need?
love to get your thoughts on our companions.
Let's make sure they're not listening. The
Kitty.
only one we haven't talked about is Yatsley. I don't know. Things have changed a bit, I guess. She's not so bad. I mean, she's loud and impulsive and always trying to get herself killed, and she keeps saying things to get a rise out of me, Envoy. But, joke's on her. No one's gotten a rise out of me in years. But other than that, we can get along. She can be sweet, too. When she's not introducing me to a new word for my oak and acorns.
I feel like I heard that before. Didn't you have a thing above your head?
If I must.
Like you have. It seemed like you have something new to say, but
Envoy, what do you need?
you don't. Weird. Why does it say you have something when you
Until
don't?
next time.
That's odd.
Marius, what do you know about snakes?
All
I
there is
guess
to know.
that though.
What bit?
I don't know. It just slithered out of my bedroll.
Listen to me, this is very important. Was its head flat or round?
Hard to say. Kind of star-shaped?
Okay. After it bit you, did it hold on or let go?
It held on and left a bruise in the shape of an eye.
You're in luck. That's an onlooker worm snake. Harmless, though legend says they're emissaries of Wow.
Wow. The god of mysteries and
Kitty.
illusions sent me a snake?
Oh, lucky.
Be glad it wasn't a shimmering dream beast. Those are nasty.
Well, the venom won't kill you, but you'll have some interesting nightmares.
God, Kitty.
Nightmares I can deal with. But I wonder what it all means. Oh well. Perhaps I'm not meant to know. Thank you, Marius. I feel a lot better.
Don't mention it.
Kitty, you're very much in my face. Oh,
A breath held. Trepidation. You are close, yet distant still.
had to rest. This place is exhausting in a way I can't describe. I'm grateful for the pause in battle, but I didn't expect this much resistance. You wait until I'm awake. Kitty, could you just sit still? I swear to God, you're very much distracting right now. Oh boy.
Bars were not enough. They writhe. They seek to silence us. Only essence sustains them now. Hatred seated in the heart.
Stop. You're like touching the mic. Can you stop that? He's like, God, Kitty, you're so in my face. Buddy, this is not the time. You know what I wonder? Hey, Sapadal, I got a question for you. Can I get a word in edgewise?
Deer leaps at its reflection in the lake.
Surprised? You still owe me answers. Kitty, stop! You're very... You gotta stop that. Ugh. I indulge curiosity, you can indulge mine.
You have defied our expectations at every turn. Perhaps we should not have been.
What will you do if you van imprisoned? What will you do if you van a guard? What would bring you peace? Happiness? What do you really want? Interesting question, this one.
A rose bush grows berries. We cannot be but what we are.
Humor me. Imagine. Then how can you sympathize with the people of the living lands?
No, we must recall, plumb the depths of our memory. We would be so old, and yet so young. We would drink the sea air, the grass, see the world as those with our gift.
How would it feel to be who would care for living lands? Could you really give up all that power?
You asked us to bloom on a new bush, petals unlike ours. We
God,
showed
Kitty.
vengeance denied, squandered. This cannot be.
What was that? You alright? The essence in the garden must be getting to me. It doesn't sound very peaceful.
We spoke of flowers.
No, you didn't say something just now. It's nothing. I'm hearing things.
We speak of freedom when the hand still clasps around our throat. Wake now. Find us.
Well, it's as weird as always. Oh,
I see the disciple
Oh.
has found her way into the sun.
hi, Bodega.
No. Clarion Steel. We know this voice. Why is she here?
You, in the garden? Yeah, you must be dedicated to follow me all the way here. Now what do you want? How many more do I have to destroy to shut you up?
I'm everywhere. My tools have mouths to speak.
Out. Out. Her voice pierces our skin.
Look at this place. A quagmire of your parasite's worst instincts. Can you even begin to grasp the forces that you tamper with?
All I know is that Sapadal needs help. Why don't you explain then, instead of insulting me? I didn't choose to get involved. Don't call Sapadal that. I don't have to understand something to believe in it. Uh,
Apparently, I must. The situation is worse than I perceived. Do you think you're special, with your god's thorn in your side? Do you believe you can hold dominion over chaos itself? When even the collective fury of the real gods could only confine the sniveling creature to this wasteland.
No. I knew it. You're lying. I don't believe it. That was you? I mean, did we know all that they had already that they were the ones? Well, okay, again, okay. See, that was what I was confused about that other time. Like, was it? What's his face? Now I completely forgot. Freaking guy. What's other godlike guy? Why am I totally blanking on his name now? Anyway, that's what I was confused about because I thought it was the gods doing it, but also it was him doing it. I knocking Sapadal away. I see that was I see I was confused about all that, and I don't know. Um, what am I what am I saying? I got really confused and sidetracked for a second. I gotta read this again. Do you think you're special with your guys on your side? Do you believe you can hold a million-dollar case itself? What are we answering? Yeah, exactly. When even the collective view of the real gods could only define this living creature to this wasteland. I'm not entirely sure what I'm answering about this. I don't know. I'm just gonna say this, I guess.
Who else would have the strength?
It is true. She twists the knife. The seas run red with memory.
In time, the gods felt the wretched powers seeping through this land. Its madness would consume us all if it was not contained.
You could be the living land, so your make-folk did your dirty work. You didn't know Sapadal would attack you. Why not wait and see? Wait, Sapadal could destroy all of Yora? 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 Is it Yora? Is it Yora? Whatever. I don't even know anymore. What do you mean? Admit it, you felt threatened by a god you couldn't control. Hmm. I don't know what to say here. Maybe this.
Chaos has no respect for borders. It goes where it will. A pity that its followers could not be reasoned with.
Then, regardless, you ordered the Maple to kill them too. So you're why we know nothing about them.
Of course I do. The poor godless, worshipping the very thing that subsumed them. We could not excise the rot and spare the roots that nourished it.
I feel like we know this. That bodega, like we know that the make for bodegas, whatever you want to call them, yeah, on the bodega's control. We knew that, and we knew the attack Sapadal, and like, did we know that the killed, the Akita, the godless, the Akita, Did we know that? I don't know if it's just like catching you up or like in case you miss something. I mean, I don't know, but it felt like we already knew that. I don't know. Maybe I thought I knew more than I did, and that's why I don't know. Anyway, but it's like I'm not like yeah, we knew this. I don't know. Anyway, let's just move on. Um, you massacred them. Why did it have to come to this? Could have found a way to contain Sapadal without senseless death. They might have challenged your authority. You are never going to let them live. Yeah.
You dare claim the domain of the gods is trivial?
You defended your crown, careless but expected of a queen. Touched a sore spot, didn't I? Never mind. I'm not going to convince you of anything.
Mind your tongue. Your blasphemy strains my patience.
Why does our prison not protect us? Help us! Silence her!
Listen to its tantrum. It knows neither order nor sense. Adir is the only thing holding back the tide of entropy.
Sapadal is letting out because of Adia. Can't you see that? This is not your order. This doesn't mean it... What? It's not your order. That doesn't mean it's anarchy. Okay. Whatever the answer is, the Living can't go on like this. I see what Sapadal is capable of. It concerns me too. Yeah.
I refuse to even dignify that with a response. But there is still time. You can succeed where Ludwig failed. Face your false god and end its reign of terror permanently.
How? I can't kill a god. I can't do that to Sapadal. You deserve a second chance. Get out of the garden, now. I'll never work with you. I don't want to do this, but if the whole world is at stake, so much so to finish what you started long ago. I mean, I definitely don't want to, you know, support Bodega in any way. Like very much similar to Ludwig. It feels like a bad idea, so yeah, no, I'll say this. Even if, you know, even if I still have doubts about Sapadal, I mean, the more and more Bodega talks, it definitely sounds like they were, like the you know what they did, you know, was justified, you know, and Sapadal is, you know, again seem to have just been pretty much targeted by Bodega because and the other guys, I guess, as well, but you know, mostly Bodega, it sounds like. I mean, yeah, just because Bodega is this, again, authoritarian, very much follow my orders, follow my lead. I decide everything. There's no buts about it, you know. It's like, if anything challenges my authority, you know, kinda. I'm definitely not into that. Definitely not into that, you know. And it's definitely making me very much get, again, more in the line of, yeah, we gotta free Sapadal, you know. So yeah.
Very well. I cannot force a child to bend to my will. But I will not stand by and watch you undo my work. You should have thought more carefully before you broke your oath to the Empire.
I don't expect this to be, you know, easy to deal with another god.
That was insane.
Oh, you saw that?
That's it. From now on, I pray to no god.
You saw all that? Normally you don't. Yeah. Like, I expect opposition from Bodega and the guards, which... Well, hopefully Sapadal has enough power. Cause I don't know if we're gonna defeat a literal god. You know what I mean? How are we expected to do that? That sounds maybe unlikely. Where's his hair going? This have I this backwards? Where am I going here? I don't even know. Have I been here? Door shape. There's a pipe. Like a wire of some kind. Can we open that door?
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Or am I going mad?
Is this? I mean, what am I seeing? I'm seeing plant people, tree people. Well, let's talk to Yara. I don't know.
What is the meaning of this? It can't be real. This is
I mean, are these supposed to be
a joke.
your parents?
Tell me we're both seeing the same thing.
I don't know if that's what it is. It's supposed to be. I mean, this is kind of what it looked like, right? I guess. It's been a little bit, but yeah. I don't know exactly what they looked like. Sniff the air. Well, I'm just as confused as you are. Is your family step all over again? I'm seeing plants, a lot of them, looking at us. What do you see?
I was afraid of that. Why am I cursed to see this again? Why does the memory follow me wherever I go?
I think the god is misleading us, playing with our senses. You don't think these things moved here themselves, do you? I don't know.
Wanna know what I think? I think someone's laughing at me. Whoever is responsible, I'm tired of the bullshit. Step forward and answer for yourself, coward.
Godlike of Sapadal,
Hi.
long have we awaited you.
Finally, you've come home.
Well,
How was this
that was
not
very
the
basic.
strangest thing that has happened today?
Oh my gods. They're alive?
Huh. Wait, this is something. Talk to them, Yara. No, that's impossible. You hear them too? Move to the plant. Greetings. Slowly draw your weapon. Kinda wanna do this. I'm gonna do this.
What do you think you're doing?
Giada Castel, welcome.
Wait, you know me? How do you know me?
For centuries, our whispers filled the silence. Then we heard your mother's call.
My mother? You heard her?
She reached out to us, using the tool you now carry.
But that would have been years ago. The first time she used the phantasmal focus. The only time she used it.
We heard, and Sapadal answered, saying in a great voice, "We are here. You have found us."
But when Sapadal speaks, the living lands trembles. The voice of a god can be a terrible thing.
You're saying Sapadal was responsible for the lab accident. I hear Sapadal all the time, and I'm doing fine. Why are you telling us this?
No. This can't be. What exactly happened to my parents? Tell me, please. I need to know.
Sapadal wanted to be heard, and in so doing, twisted your family in body and soul, broke them into a more suitable shape.
Sapadal does not know the limits of their strength. Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made? Do you have any idea what my life has been since your little mistake?
After the incident, your parents were like us, and we took pity, so we helped them move on, as they wanted.
In the end, they thought only of you, their pride, and their love.
That's it. That's really it. The answer I've been searching for all these years. Sapadal destroyed my family.
I'm unsure of how to feel about this. Let's. I'm not gonna say my thoughts right now. Let's just move on until I understand everything that's going on here. You think the eternal truth? What are these things? I'm so sorry, Gata. I had no idea about any of this. We should get moving. I mean, can we believe them? And everything going on here? I mean, we're talking to, like, trees. I don't, you know, I don't know.
I know they are. My mother and father would not have wanted this. A good animancer embraces death. And they were the best.
What are these things?
We are companions, toys, diversions. Sapadal fashioned us out of dreams and memories.
I can't believe it never occurred to me. They're animats. Ancient vessels held together with duty and loyalty. Their design is unusual. Organic, much like the garden itself. Sapadal's work. All this time, your god has been making imaginary friends. Drawing pictures on the walls of their cell. It's almost too sad to imagine.
Huh. Animate spirits bound on living vessels, which include sculptures, suits of armor, and other materials. The oldest known animals were used as guardians of royal tombs. They are durable, patient, and loyal to their creator. Huh. I
don't hold you responsible. I don't even know if I hold Sapadal responsible. Your god has the intelligence of a scatterbrained goat. That isn't their fault. It's simply how they came into being. One final question, spirits. What is this? Why are you trying to ruin my life again? Is this your way of haunting me? What is it you want?
Well, that was 4 questions, but sure.
We want to apologize on Sapadal's behalf, and for the part we played in your sorrow.
They want to apologize. I came to the garden for answers, not to offer forgiveness.
The deserve forgiveness. What happened to your parents was a mistake. You owe them nothing. Sapadal's madness cost your parents their lives. And now you have the answers. Maybe it's time to move on. Trust you to make this decision yourself. I mean, I honestly feel like I should say this. Because, like, you know, I cannot, I should not be the one to, again, I guess, make the decision, you know, or pass judgment here, or, you know, this is kind of messed up, Sapadal, you know, again, this is the kind of thing I was like, we still don't know everything about Sapadal and what you've done and what you will do, and this is a bit of a surprise. I mean, Yada even says, you know, the thing is, Yada says that, yeah, I mean, again, they might not know everything they're capable of doing, or even that they're doing it, necessarily. And again, they're lashing out, they're, you know, imprisoned, and But man, you know, Sapadal is not making a great case for themselves more and more. It's I don't know, man. I don't know. Um, I yeah, no. This is your decision, though. I mean, honestly, it is.
Shit. This is going to hurt. Sapadal has been trapped here for millennia. Alone. Confused. Screaming into the void for anyone who will listen. When they heard the voice of a stranger, they overreacted. How can I hold that against you? Apology accepted.
Huh.
Thank you, Chiara. And thank you, Godlight, for bringing her all this way.
The time has come for you to find your patron, as you were meant to.
I'm ready. Should I expect to find more of these aberrations in the garden? What happened to you? Rest well. I honestly feel like I'm not sure I would have, you know, accepted the apology. I would have. Yara is surprisingly more forgiving about this, you know. I don't know what I would have thought had my parents been turned into plants, you know. And now, knowing that this was the fault of Sapadal, making an oopsie, essentially. Mistakes were made, you know. Like, really? That's the way that sounds, you know. I still really want to believe that Sapadal it's just a mess, and you know, and they just and they don't know what they're doing or why they're doing what they're doing, or again, we have to come back to the fact that we're talking about a god, someone who was created or however it works in this world of gods just suddenly existing. I'm not sure how that works, but they existed suddenly, I guess. They popped into being or something, or I don't know. Like, and then, you know, the gods of living lands, and, you know, and like the nature in what I guess says entropy, or like we said something about that, like the like not chaos necessarily, like more like the world, you know, just existing and being and nature doing its thing, I guess. That's what it feels like Sapadal kinda is. You know, it doesn't sound like they are inherently bad for existing. Bodega certainly believes that, but Bodega believes they're like a scourge, they are like a plague, which does feel extreme, doesn't it? I mean, then again, the Dream Scourge is Sapadal's doing. I don't think it was said that the Dream Scourge, the Dream Scourge was a thing, you know, 300 years ago or whatever it was, like a lot of time ago, you know, when Sapadal was around, when the Kida were around. I don't think that was the case. It was said that, or that was ever implied. I think it was like a new thing that happened, like, right? I mean, I still don't want to agree with Bodica, you know? I don't want to agree with that at all. But I can, in a way, understand their fear if the dream scourge was, you know, actually a thing, and it was, you know, killing people, you know, making them turn crazy and, you know, everything. I can understand that a bit more, maybe. But I don't think that was the case. It still sounds a lot like Bodega pretty much attacked Sapadal for pretty much no other reason than to have more control, to have, you know, yeah, you know what I mean? To imply their authority. But again, it is so much. It keeps getting more and more complicated. That's for damn sure. I don't know what to think anymore. But Yada somehow is able to accept the apology. Is able to, yeah. That's surprising. I don't know if I would. I'm not sure what I would in her situation, but I certainly feel more and more like I don't know what to think. That's for sure. Like, I thought I had an idea of what I wanted to do here, but it's becoming more and more complicated. That's for damn sure. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Should I expect to find more informations in the garden?
A garden is whatever you plant in it.
Sapadal wishes to be understood, as all mortals do, seen as all mortals are. What you see is the truth, glimpsed through their eyes, and they wish to share it.
What will happen to you?
Now that you have returned to the garden, Sapadal has everything they need. We will fade, as all things fade.
I'm sorry. You're made to be posed like dolls against the side. It's cruel. There's so much we could learn from you.
You have already learned more than we could ever teach. We know only growth and stillness, root and flower.
We will return to the soil from which we emerged. In time, you will do the same.
Rest well.
Our purpose draws to a close. A long rest is assured. May the living lands receive you with open arms. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Huh.
I need to talk about this, but not here.
Right. The farther we get from this place, the better.
Yeah. Huh. You know, I'm looking at the time here, and I think I'm gonna stop. I was thinking, can I power through all of this area? I think there's a lot more here than I initially anticipated. Is this anything? Oh, there's a switch there. Okay, I can open that up. Well, let's quickly look at what's in here. Oh wait, I think I saw. Wait, wasn't that a book? I think I remember that being a book here I didn't read. Yeah, that's a book here. Unusual book. This book is penned with dark tree sap instead of ink. Every stroke done with a slow and meticulous hand. Most of the pages contain sketches of the garden, of familiar animals, and even music in some ancient notation. Only the final page contains legible writing. Forgive us. Wow. That's disturbing. That's a bit creepy. Yeah, no. Yeah. I definitely feel like there's a lot more going on here. Sham of bones. Great. That's lovely. Summon a few of skeletons to fight with you. Okay. Well then. That's what it says. Since it is comprised of very small bones affixed to a cord of sinew, this macabre necklace stinks of the grave. The noise created by the bones clicking together sounds like a gruesome chime, causing your hair to stand on end. This particular charm was lovingly crafted by a self-serving, hedonistic, deaf god-like chanter who used his powers of beckoning the dead to unusual ends. As a master musician, he never found other living players to be at his level of skill, and so instead taught his undead minions how to play just as he did. Thus did he become the ringleader of his own wild marching band. Huh. I mean, there was something else, yeah. Another one like this. Yeah, this one. I remember that being a thing. Now we can summon skeletons as well. It sounds kind of fun. Yeah, but I don't know. I just want the checks, you know? Just want to be able to do checks in case I need to do that for certain things in certain levels. It does bother me that that's the way I'm playing the game, but it's what I want to do. You know? And I still feel like I don't need to play that way, but yeah. It's probably fine. Because I know I'm missing other checks, you know. I missed many checks in the game that I just couldn't do at all. So it's like, yeah, you know. Okay, right. It's like, not? Like, it's like weird. That doesn't really show the arrow where to go right now. Anyway, well, yeah, I'm gonna stop now though. It does seem that there's a lot more going on here, and well, yeah, I definitely have something to say about what just happened at camp. I mean, she literally just told us that. And yeah, no. That was a lot. That was a lot. Well, we're in the garden. It's certainly not what I expected so far. Yeah. But it's interesting. It's, and yeah. I guess it makes sense that Bodega would try to stop us from doing all this and everything, you know? Definitely feels like we're gonna be dealing with that. I don't know if I can get up there. Can you? I don't think so. Don't see any way to get up there. Maybe we'll come back at some point. Anyway. Yeah. 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 Exactly. That's my thoughts. Okay. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. But no. Seems like we still have a bit to go. Again, who knows how long all this will take in here, you know? But yeah, I wanted to see what happened here and if I could power through it, and you know, if it was worth doing that. And I think it's probably best I take it slower, you know. I don't want to rush through this just to rush through it right now. I think it's better I just play it out, and you know, this episode went long, but I don't know. It really depends on what's coming up next, but I hope to make the episodes, you know, only an hour long. If this area ends up being more involved, if it feels like I'm close to actually the end, you know, I will push through. But I just didn't know what to expect so far of this area, and it definitely seems like there's a lot more going on here. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna see. I still wonder, like, Marius had a thing to say in camp. He had the icon above him and everything, but he didn't actually have anything to say, weirdly enough. He does have one above him now, you know? So it's like, oh, okay, now he has something to say? I don't know if he has anything to say, if it's a glitch or what. It was really weird that he didn't have anything to actually say there before, and it still appeared. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. I am wondering, did this place only exist because we had Giada with us? It felt very convenient we had Giada with us and went to that place. I don't know if that would be some... I mean, they say this place can shift and stuff, right? Like, they say this place is strange. Who knows if that's true? That different companions have different areas that have unique things going on? It could just have been a coincidence. I mean, I guess I can change the character and go back there and see. I am curious about that. I don't know. But anyway, all that is going to be for next time. This has been a long episode and I gotta stop. Yeah, okay. This area is interesting, that's for sure. And I don't know what to think about Sapadal, man. It keeps just... Sapadal keeps being an enigma. And that's the whole point, I suppose. I mean, it's a god. They're definitely gonna be strange and hard to really figure out. It would be weird if it wasn't that case, if it wasn't like that, you know. Alright, well, that's the episode. See you next time.